Hello, I'm Hilary. This is a story that once upon a time travelled all the way to Brazil from Africa, and now it's come to Lowestoft. Years and years ago, at the very beginning of time, when the world had just been made, there was no night on the earth. It was day all the time. Imagine that. No one had ever heard of sunrise or sunset, starlight or moonbeams. There were no night birds or night beasts or night flowers filling the air with perfume. The only place where there was any night at all was in the sea. In those days, the sea was ruled by a great sea serpent. The serpent had a daughter who married one of the sons of the great earth race known as man. The daughter left her home in the deep, dark sea and went to live with her new husband in the land of daylight. But sadly, her eyes grew so tired of the constant light that she couldn't stop yawning. "Oh, if only there was some darkness so that I could sleep," she said as she tossed and turned in her bed. "In my father's kingdom, at the bottom of the deep, dark sea, there are many shadows, but here it is always light. I love the sunlight on your land, but I am so tired. Oh, please send me some darkness so that I can rest my eyes and sleep for just a while." Her husband wanted very much to make his new wife happy, so he sent for his 3 most faithful servants. He told them, "Go to the kingdom of the great Sea Serpent at the bottom of the deep, dark sea, and ask him to give you some of the darkness of night so that his daughter can sleep." So the servants set off. It was a long and difficult journey to the bottom of the deep, dark sea, but eventually they found the great Sea Serpent. The serpent was only too happy to fill a big bag with darkness for his daughter. He tied it up, glued it together with red sealing wax, and told them not to open the bag until they were safely back with his daughter. The servants agreed and swam back through the vast, swirling sea, pulling the bag behind them. At last, they reached the shore, placed the bag up onto their heads, and set off homewards. Soon, they heard strange sounds from within the bag. It was the sound of the voices of all the night birds, all the night beasts, and all the night insects. The servants had never heard sounds like those before, and they were terribly frightened. 2 of them wanted to drop the bag of darkness and run away, but the 3rd was curious. "Before we run away, let's open the bag and see what it is that makes these terrible sounds." So they laid the bag on the ground, bit off the sealing wax with their teeth, and opened it. Out rushed all the night creatures: the bulldog bats, the blackish nightjars, the cicadas, the howler monkeys, and the screech owls. And with them rushed the great black cloud of night. The servants were even more terrified and ran away as quickly as they could deep into the rainforest. Ever since the servants had left, the daughter of the sea serpent stood gazing at the horizon, shielding her eyes from the daylight and searching for any sign of their return with the bag of night. it was as she came to stand underneath a royal palm tree that the servants opened the bag and let the knight escape. "Night comes! Night comes at last!" she cried as the great black cloud came over the horizon. Then she closed her eyes and fell into a deep sleep right there underneath the royal palm tree. When she woke up, she felt completely refreshed. She was ready to see the day again. She looked up at the bright star shining through the branches of the royal palm tree. "Oh, bright, beautiful star, from now on you will be known as the morning star, and whenever you appear, we'll know that the day is about to begin. You will be queen of the sky." Then she gathered together all the day birds about her. "Oh, wonderful, sweet singing birds, please always sing your sweetest songs at this hour." The cockerel was by her side. "You will be the watchman of the night," she said. "Your voice will warn the other birds that the madrugada is about to begin." Madrugada is the Brazilian word for dawn. And sure enough, every morning since that time, the cockerel announces the dawn to the waiting birds. The birds sing their sweetest songs, and the morning star reigns in the sky as queen of the madrugada. And that's how night came from the sea. Oh, but what about those terrified servants that ran away? Well, as soon as it was daylight, they crept home, carrying their empty bag. Unfortunately, the master saw them arriving, and he bellowed, "Why did you open the bag before you got back? Because of your disobedience, I will turn you into monkeys, and you will live in the trees forever." And to this day, you can still see the mark on the monkey's lips where they bit off the wax that sealed the bag full of night. I suppose the master thought that he was punishing the servants by turning them into monkeys. But wouldn't it be wonderful to swing through the canopy of the Brazilian rainforest? And darkness still comes quickly in Brazil, just as it leapt quickly out of the bag at the beginning of time. And at the end of the day, when the sun sets, all the night creatures fill the rainforest with their chorus.